Hey there class, Mrs. Matheson here to take you guys through Unit 7, Notes 2 on permutations. Our learning target today is I can use permutations to determine the number of outcomes for a given situation. Let's look at our first example here. It's talking about a manager is hiring 2 employees, one to work at the counter and one to work at the drive-thru. And we have 3 choices, Katie, Bob, and Alicia. So we have the counter and we have the drive-thru. So maybe Katie works the counter and Bob works the drive-thru. Or we could have Katie working the counter and Alicia working the drive-thru. We could have Bob working the counter and Katie work the drive-thru. Or Bob work the counter and Alicia work the drive-thru. Or our last options would involve Alicia working at the counter and Bob at the drive-thru. Or Alicia working at the counter and Katie working the drive-thru. Well, Katie. All right, so if we look here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of combinations, so 6 ways to have these ordered. So what we're looking at today, we talked about, is permutations. Permutation is when a group of objects or people are arranged in a certain order. All right, when we talk about permutations, order is important. AB is different from BA. All right, so how many different arrangements are there in the word triangle? So first we need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters. So we have 8 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means we have 8 choices for our first one. But because we're using one of the letters, we now have 7 choices. This is what makes it a permutation. We have 6 choices, 5 choices, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Don't forget we're going to multiply all of those. So this turns into 8 factorial. 8 factorial gives us 40,320 arrangements. All right, so that's a lot of ways we can rewrite the word triangle. In this example, we talk about triangle, but the first letter is an A. So we still have 8 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But in our first one, it has to be an A. And we only have one A, so we only have one choice for that first one. But now we have 7 left for the 7 left for the next one, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now if we look here, we have 7 factorial, which is 5,040 arrangements. That's a lot less than the 40,000 arrangements that we would have had if it didn't matter for that. Okay, so in Minnesota, license plates are made up of 6 characters, 3 letters, and 3 numbers. How many different license plates can be made in the state of Minnesota? So we have 3, and then we have 3 more. So we might have a number, a number, a number, and then we have letter, letter, letter. Well, when we talk about numbers, we are thinking 0 through 9. We can use 0 through 9, so that gives us 10 digits. And we can use that letter again, so that gives our number again, so that gives us 10 digits for the next one and 10 digits for the last one. Our letters are anything from A to Z, which we know is 26, and you can repeat the letters every time. So we're going to multiply all of those together, and that is going to give us a whole heck of a lot of license plates. 17,576,000 plates. So hopefully we won't run out anytime soon, because we could choose 1, 2, 3, and then maybe B, A, C. This order is going to be different than that order. Okay, so let's talk about permutation formula. N is representing the total number of objects, and R is representing, the number of objects that you're using or that you're choosing. So we use this formula here to show that, and we represent it also NPR to show our permutation. All right, so we're going to evaluate 5, choose 3. So we have 5 factorial over 5 minus 3 factorial. Well, 5 minus 3 is going to give us 2 factorial in the bottom. So let's write that out because we know how to do that. We have 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And 2 factorial is going to give us 2 times 1. Well, we know how to simplify fractions, and if we have something in the top that matches the bottom, we can cancel that. So now we're left with 5 times 4 times 3, which gives us 60. We have 60 different choices to choose from when we have 5, choose 3. All right, so then I want you guys to pause the video and try our next problem. 7, choose 2, using the same order and way I did it for problem 5. All right, let's take a look here at this problem. It says there are 10 finalists in figure skating competition. How many ways can gold, silver, and bronze medals be awarded? Well, gold, silver, and bronze, that's an order, so that's what makes this a permutation. So our n is 10 because we have 10 total, and we're choosing 3 out of that. So we'd write that 10p3. And let's plug that into our formula. 10 factorial over 10 minus 3 factorial. All right, so that's going to simplify to 10 factorial over 7 factorial. Let's go ahead and write that out and simplify it. So 10 all the way down to 1. And then we have 7 times 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Remembering that our terms are going to cancel, that's going to simplify us all the way to 10 times 9 times 8. And that is going to give us 3,000, not 3,000. It's going to give us 720 ways to give out those medals. That's a lot of ways for only 10 people. All right, looking here at problem 8. A newspaper has 9 reporters to cover 4 different stories. So we have N is 9 and our R is going to be 4. So we are going to take 9 factorial times 9 minus 4 factorial. Oh, that would be 9p4. Sorry about that. Okay, so we get 9 factorial over 5 factorial. Go ahead and write those out and cancel. I'm very confident that you guys can do it at this point. All right, then pause the video and go ahead and do problem 9 for us, 2. And I want you guys to come back with that done for us. All right, then that brings us to our last part here. Permutations with repetitions. A permutation of n objects where p and q are alike is n factorial over p factorial times q factorial. So, how many ways can the letters in the word Mississippi be arranged? So count up how many letters we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 total. And now let's count anything that repeats. So I see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 I's. Not 4I, but 4 I's. All right, so we have S's. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 S's. And then last we have 2 P's. All right, so we are going to plug that in with our total on top, and then any that repeat. So there's our 4 I's, our 4 S's, and our 2 P's. So we're going to calculate this out by doing 11 factorial. Now use your factorial button that we found on our calculator. And we get 39916800. All right, so 39,916,800. And 4 factorial on your calculator, 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 gave us 24. And we have that twice. And 2 factorial we know is 2. So go ahead and we're going to multiply everything on the bottom. So that's going to turn into 1,152. And the top stayed the same, 39916800. If we divide that, we find out that there are 34,650 ways to write out Mississippi. I want you guys to practice number 11 now and come with that done for us tomorrow. And we'll see you guys then.